Let's say it together, karutz. See, you're speaking Hebrew now. And it literally means a threshing sledge or a sharp instrument, right? You know that there are days when you feel sharp and there are days where you feel dull, right? But diligence is being sharp, having sharp teeth, figuratively. That's basically what it means. Determination and eagerness. Determination and eagerness. The word is also used to describe gold, as in gold that is mined or dug for. It's interesting that every reference I looked at, also tucked away in the definition is the word for gold. And isn't it interesting that gold has to be mined, it has to be dug for, right? You know, usually gold isn't just sitting on the surface, it has to be dug, right? Somebody was talking about the gold rush this morning. Could you imagine how much they had to dig and cut away and gouge through mountains? They even use explosives, don't they, to get that stuff, right? So the picture is, you know, digging deep, mining, persevering until you get the nugget, until you get the gold, and it is there. I've seen people work to a certain degree and walk away from it. I've seen somebody come and pick it up and then receive what was there, what was promised, right? And then the other person says, how come I didn't get that? Well, diligence, 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 consistency until the reward is experienced. A few scriptures in there. Proverbs 10. Let's turn to Proverbs 10. Don't you love the Proverbs? Yes. 31 of them. You can read one every day. One chapter every day. And it says here in 10, verse 4. Everyone there? Lazy hands make a man poor, but diligent hands bring wealth. Lazy hands make a man poor. Well, no, I'm poor because, you know, of my ethnicity. I'm poor because of the economic situation. I'm poor because my daddy was poor, his daddy was poor, and his daddy's daddy was poor. I am poor because that's just how I am. Lazy hands make a man poor. So either believe what you've been told or believe the word of God. Lazy hands make a man poor. I'm going to share this. I share this with the men. I think you had already left. Let me share this. I've had a steady job since I was 14 years old, only by the grace of God. There was one period because of my depression and drinking that I was unemployed for 3 months. Okay? Between 14 years of age and today. Them is a lot of years. They're only 3 months. The thing I believe that gave me a breakthrough was I was living back at home, let go of my apartment, you know, I just wanted to go and get comforted by mommy and daddy, right? I was about 22 years old. Okay? So I moved back home, hadn't worked for 3 months. Then I came to Jesus, hallelujah. And I started reading and understanding his word and everything, and I realized my Lord wants me to work. Right? But, you know, the economy was bad. And this is back in '82. It was bad then. They always say it's bad. I'm not kidding, I was at home in my mother's kitchen with my Bible, reading my Bible. I was going through Proverbs. And as I'm reading it, I noticed that her kitchen floor was a complete mess. No offense to my mom, but it needed some cleaning. Right? There was only one thing that was going to clean that floor. A good brush, and a bucket of hot water and spick and span. Come on now. Come on, who knows spick and span? That's my favorite. You don't see it used much. I think there's going to be a comeback of spick and span. So I'm not kidding. The word of the Lord came unto me saying, you clean that kitchen floor to the point where you can eat off it, and you'll have a job within a week. I knew that was the thing. I knew that I'd given the applications, I had done all I can do. You know, I received all the pity from people. I know it's a hard life and everything. But my mama's floor still needed to be cleaned. And so I'm not kidding. I literally got down on my knees and I did it as unto the Lord. Amen. And I got that hot water and that brush and that spick and span and I scrubbed until my fingers were beyond wrinkled. I think I saw some bone. Don't you love exaggeration? But I scrubbed and I scrubbed, and then, I am not kidding, that following Wednesday, I was at a new believers class at my church. And I was up at the coffee. I liked coffee back then too. And I met this guy who was there, and we started to talk, and he said, "Where do you work?" I said, I'm looking for a job right now. He said, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I know how to clean." He said, "You know, I have a carpet cleaning business. Do you want a job?" I said, "Are you talking to me?" And God graciously gave me a job. But I think that little act of obedience and, that doing that uncomfortable thing, that thing that really didn't make sense, what does that have to do with me getting a job? Well, in the spiritual realm, it provided a breakthrough for God to come through. And I've been employed ever since by the grace of God. So you take that, chew on it, do whatever you want, spit it out, do whatever you want. Proverbs chapter 12. Let's continue through our Proverbs. Verse 24. He says, diligent hands will rule. Diligent hands. That means those that persevere, those that are consistent, those that are determined and eager, those that are mining for gold, spiritually speaking. Diligent hands will rule. But laziness ends in slave labor. Now, I'm not doing this to convict people and to put people down that may have a problem with laziness, because we've all been there, we've all done that, right? Right? There's an indentation in my couch, believe me, from me. I know. It doesn't bounce back as much as it used to. But every time in the Proverbs, when diligence is mentioned, laziness is mentioned, because that's the opposite. That's the contrast. Okay? So if I really want to know what diligence is, it's the opposite of laziness. I know what laziness is. The opposite of that is diligence. Okay? Laziness ends in slave labor. I don't know exactly what that is, but I don't want to know. One more Proverbs. Proverbs 13. Chapter 4. It says this. The sluggard craves and gets nothing. The sluggard craves and gets nothing. But the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. The desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. Let me tell you, I have desires upon desires. I'll never see them come to pass until I'm diligent. Until I'm diligent. True? Amen? Now, who's starting to feel guilty? No? Okay. All right. Let's balance that out with our final scripture in Revelation chapter 3. Because in Revelation chapter 3, Jesus is talking to a church who they were really hard workers. Let's say that. They were really, really hard workers. Revelation chapter 3. Jesus says this, to the angel of the church in Sardis write, and then John was supposed to write this, these are the words of him who holds the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. Those represent churches. I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. He says, wake up, strengthen what remains, and strengthen what remains, and it is about to die. For I have found your deeds complete in the sight of God. Okay, let me see. Is that the right scripture? That's what I had down. Okay, but you know what? I got ahead of myself because it's Revelation chapter 2 instead. Okay. Now, it's all good, right? Somebody say it's all good. So turn back one chapter. Now, to the church, to the angel of the church in Ephesus, right? These are the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right